So we continue on the chapter 3, performance management, managing performance throughout the year. All right. So basically, I think definitely all right, thank you, Khairul Shah. All right, no problem. All right, so this is the adult learners. So please keep in your suitables and please keep your happy to learn, basically. All right, from my class, normally for the postgraduate, okay, I what we call focus to have what we call is suitable and reasonable, okay, on the postgraduate, right? But for the undergraduate, the approach is different. All right, okay. So managing performance throughout the years, definitely, all right, we do. Almost of the company that do the KPI. Key performance indicator for the nexus purposely and basically we plan, okay, for the or before the new year coming. For example, okay, I think you already have your KPI on 2024, right? And then, okay, mostly of the company that, okay, all right, thank you, suitable, reasonable approach. Okay, no problem. We have a family, yeah. We have a family. Sometime need to handle our parent, need to handle our children, a lot of things. So this is how, All right. What we call is things that we cannot put aside. A family, if like that is why previous that I share with you, I share with you, Rosihan, okay. Previous that, before I think before 2010, I not say that it's quite hard to further study to be doing the master, but I think before 2005, more or less, we need to have study at a full at the university and sometimes as a part-time. Okay. That time we need to have a class every evening or every week, Saturday, Sunday. What I do on my master before at UTHM, every week I need to go to Batu Pahat. Okay, after finish my work on Friday, okay, I go to Batu Pahat and then have a class full day, Saturday, Sunday, until end of Sunday, maybe sometimes 7 p.m. Come back to my hometown. Before that, I work at Kuantan. All right, and then tomorrow need to work back. So, but now this is a difference because MQA look into what we call is pembelajaran kendiri that you learn with yourself based the experience. So MQA, Malaysian Qualification Accreditation, MQA, one of the department control of accredit on the all qualification in Malaysia, see that, okay, all the adult learner can arrange to have the own self-learning. That is why they put of the what we call is credit hour to your own study based your experience. All right. Okay. All right. So we come back to managing performance through the year. Definitely. Okay. We plan. Okay, on our KPI. Okay. More or less because of this KPI involve or relate to the budget. All right, relate to the budget. That is why, right, we need to put as a proper KPI. All right, because your KPI, okay, in that the next years, Okay, some of the KPI may be involved with the budgeting, okay, operationals, knowledge, all right, target, some sort of mission and vision, which is all these things that sometimes involved with the budget. Okay. So in government, maybe, all right, please correct me if I'm wrong. We call sasaran kerja tahunan. Sasaran kerja tahunan that we need to achieve basically. So that is why sometimes based of the performance of management in order that us to focus our KPI, for example, maybe for 2025, all right. So we need to have the what we call is suitables, okay, reasonables, all right, can count, right, our KPI, because of we worry that if let's say we can't achieve the KPI, so this is impact of our performance. I think definitely all of you know lah. That is why sometimes we create the KPI. We need to discuss about the head of department. That is why we call the KPI. We call KPI equivalent. So meaning to say what is understand what we understand about the KPI what KPI equivalence okay, meaning to say that whatever target from the lower staff need to have their what we call is their line, their same line, same figures, same target until to the CEO. So definitely we can have the KPI totally different. For example, okay, KPI for the CEO different with the head of department. So definitely that is not happen but this is depend case by case. Then definitely how you practice, because sometimes if we always talk about the KPI but without action, or we just talk about KPI planning without implement, so this is also waste and make it problem lah, for example, right? Okay, so the unit looks discuss managing performance in organization through developing performance development program and discussing different theory performance within an organization. All right. So we talk about the HR department. Okay. I'm not saying that different company have a different approach or different company have a different organization in human resource department, but it is depend maybe how big your company, what is your operational of company, what is your business of your company, what is your KPI. So a lot of things. So that is why this is looks like a cut line. Okay, maybe what I'm saying, you know better, or maybe your practice is some sort of more advanced. Yes, definitely. Because I thought with the on the theory, on the theory and academic, but more or less, okay, you are in the fields, you maybe you know better lah. All right. Performance management system. Okay. Why we call system, all right? So it looks like that if we talk about the QMS, quality management system. Why we use end of the word system? Because of this is how we develop, this is how we implement, that is how we practice, that is how we evaluate, is one of the full cycle of system basically, right? That's why we call a system. Okay, a performance management system could be defined as a system which constitutes as a set of procedures, including planning, monitoring, and reviewing performance. Planning, monitor, and review performance. Right. So that is why sometimes, time to time, we need to plan is there, but time to time we need to monitoring. Okay, basically. All right. And then reviewing. But all these things is depend that how your practice and how that you have your maybe I'm not saying that cut off time, but this is how that we call a quarter time, maybe that we review. All right. Some of the company that review every end of the year, maybe. Right. Some of the company that review quarterly because of want to see that how sustain at their performance management system. Okay, the sequences of activity make up the organization approach the performance management. The process begins from the point where the objective is set, and then add a self-renewing process that is continuous with the three main activity, which is planning, monitoring, and reviewing. Okay, that's said by the Armstrong 2009, right? The process can be illustrated using a flow chart below, or the cycles is representing the same things. The cycle can be illustrated below. Yes, right? So organization strategic objective, all right? Okay. All right, plan, performance, and development agreement, right? Okay. So define roles, set performance objective, and agree development plan. Okay. Maybe some sort of government. I'm not saying that different approach, but it's a government practice. Consider practice or work. We need to finish the budget. Okay. But in the private company, we need to save as much that we have, basically. Okay, rather than we have already the allocated of the budget. All right, so plan, performance, or development agreement. All right, which is define rules. All right, so why basically we define the rules? Right, because that is how we can structure our plan. That is how we can see, all right, few maybe need to improve, right? And then because of what? Okay, on top of the performance management, we of course that we need to have a very good on the output, basically, based of the strength of the staff. Okay, sometimes what we can say is the less staff but can perform the better work, that is the excellent condition. But this is depend also your company performance, and then how that your company expand, basically. Yes, that is why if let's say you have very less staff, but the staff can perform better, that you have a certain number of the staff, maybe you can say initially that is a good condition, but we need to see that sustainable, suitable, okay, reasonable, right? All these things that because that's why I say how that we can put our company for a while. Is it that you only just have a sustained company at that area, or you want to expand your business, right? Okay, so that is why. Okay, tak apa. Mak Daniel lah masuk kelas hari Ahad, penuh barakah, anak-anak ajak jalan dulu, tak apa. Jalan-jalan sambil kelas pun boleh, alright? Sambil kelas pun boleh. And then for your information, alright, yeah, that is how we study, and then nowadays I think maybe some of you know, some of the lecturers or some of the workers, okay, nowadays have more than one master. In fact, some of them more than one PhD, because of the accessible of the learns nowadays is what we call is easy to access and so on, right? Maybe I think maybe some of you already have a master before, maybe I don't know. Right? Maybe some of you maybe plan, okay, maybe some of you I think have a third semester last plan to have another master, all right, to variance your knowledge basically, right? Okay, next is set a performance objective. All right. So this one also very important. Set a performance objective that you need to see on your mission and vision on your company, basically. Okay. All right. Please not only look into the income and profit. You need to see on all angle, all perspective on your company. Okay, yeah, of course, I understand that we, end of the day, we look into the profit. Yes, I'm not gain this information, but we need to look also. Sometimes the company was set up because of the one purpose. For example, the company set up because of to wants to develop this system, maybe. Okay, come to the developed country, so we need to look also, okay, but of course rather than because of expenses, you know, expenses of operational, expenses of the company, expenses of the rules, expenses of compensation benefit, all these things that we need to see also lah from the profit, right? Okay, and then agree with development plan, right? Once we agree that, we start to implement lah, normally starting for the early new years lah, basically. But this is only on the framework that you can develop. But maybe we have a lot of, I'm not saying method, but a lot of information. It's not only that what you can see on the slide that have a lot of information that you can put in the plan, basically. All right, based of the suitable, but put with the short and brief. If let's say you plan a lot of things, but end of the day you can't achieve. In fact, one of the plan also maybe some of person can't achieve. So that is why we need to look back. We need to see that is the suitables, is the yes, we can accept based our strength, based our budget, based our strength of the financial and so on. All right, next is a monitoring. All right, manage performance through the years. Monitor performance. This part of very important for the supervisions, okay, from the head of department. I think I consider that executive and above lah, sometimes a supervisor, you need to have your leadership, management and control skill lah. Okay, because as a practice, okay, as a practice, basically, we are responsible to our staff, basically. Okay, so provide continuous feedback. All right, so come to the monitors. It is depend how the head of department, all right, to monitors and control the, all right, staff, basically. Okay, all right, so provide continuous feedback, all right. So of course, this is good that, okay, to practice, it's not only that we need to wait a certain time to have a feedback. Maybe we can call complain. It's suitable lah. It's not that, no need to use lah. Sometimes we can say also advice of improvement or whatever lah. It's a suitable word that you can use lah. Okay, because of this is how you can rearrange, you can arrange your performance. Okay, if let's say end of the year that you only just have communications to see, to give the feedback on the performer, this is quite late basically. All right, so that is why continuous feedback to me is very, very good that we can practice. Okay, because as we know that, okay, okay, all right, sorry. Okay, as we know that, all right. Uh, Sometimes the staff, okay, basically she or he don't know. If not say don't know lah. Sometimes maybe they not clear about their work, activity that they do basically. Okay, maybe to the staff, they see that, they saw that, all right. This is the right that they do basically. But maybe a few element that the staff need to improve basically. So that is what we call is a continuous feedback is very important. All right. And then provide coaching, of course. That is why, as head of department, all right, we need to have skill, okay, advice and coaching. Because the department at your responsible, all right, on your responsible. So that is why the skill of control, communicate using for the proper tone, proper communication, proper feeling, understood part of important. Yeah, maybe you have a problem to handle. Normally, we call in the staff that we call a hardcore staff. That someone already work in your department more than 30 years. We call hardcore. There is someone, a senior staff. They have their egoists. Rather than you are a head of department that we need to use on the proper to be respect as a senior staff. All right. Okay. What do you think about having quarterly scoring review? Half year or just one annual feedback? All right. Okay. So to me, the best, I'm not say solution because that is unfair to the someone use the practice on the year annual but to me quarterly is very, very good, but it is depend on your perspective and perceptions because okay because if you know, it same goes to me also. Maybe when I was in the government before, because sometimes we drive our department, to be achieved. Then we think that we achieve already because we can run a few projects, we can develop a few purpose that can be benefit to the departments, but do you think that my performance is the best, or do you think that my performance good and success already without any evaluate? That is why rather than we end of our review, okay, on end of the years, because end of the years you have a 12 month, which is that 12 month do, I'm not saying without comment, but to be have the clear, maybe you have your quarterly scoring that you can see. All right, maybe I think this is a suit to the head of department because they need to drive their department. So if let's say they can have comment on every quarterly at least, okay, they still have 10 their department in the lane that equivalent to the CEO lane, right? So that is the thing. So half year basically also can, 1 year also can, all right? I'm not saying that that is not the proper way, all right? But normally on the private company, I can say private company is what we call is performance company that need to have their review every time, right? And then as you know that, okay, if let's say you have your department, okay, but then we look on the yearly also should be no problem, all right. We can practice that, but more or less on the department, it is good that we can practice for quarterly. All right, if I say we practice for monthly, basically also can. But on the monthly practice, that is like that a very short period, and then we need to review. We need to review lah. Sometimes it's not show the more or bigger significance lah. All right, but then this is how that you practice, because what? The different company that different approach, different company that different business, different company that different operational, which is sometimes you manage to have your review only within a month because of a lot of things you do, a lot of production we do, which is that some of the company review every month because of what? Come to normally on the production, but maybe your company more on the service, that you can see the gap on the difference significant. Maybe you can trigger, okay, within a 3 month, or within a 6 month, this is depend, all right. Deal with underperformer. So kalau underperformer ni, yes, we need to see lah, because deal with under performer is not that the staff is not disciplined. It's not that the staff not what we call this follow the procedure. That is not that the staff is not the very good staff, but sometimes that is why we need to have engagement with staff. Sometimes the staff have what we call is out of box problem that the staff quite hard to handle basically. So that is why because sometimes maybe, okay, for example, the staff have a problem with their children. Their children maybe have a have a problem that it's quite hard to settle. They need to have a proper care about their children. So that is why we need to have engagement. Okay, the best head of department. Okay, they have engagement every time, right? But it's not that you have an engagement every time that you make your staff like your friends. Right? Once you have make your staff with a friend, it's quite hard you to have your command or give the instructions basically. Reviews, joins, analysis of performance, review the performance based of KPI. It's a rate of performance equivalent. You already have your works, you have already have done your half years, okay, job duty and performance that you can review. Okay, for examples, right, based your achievement on the production, you manage to have your 10,000 production until middle of the years, right? But you need to achieve 15,000 from production. So are you manage that to settle 40,000 balance in order that you have a period 6 months and on that year basically? So that is why we need to look back, right? Okay, this is a performance management cycles, all right? All right, but you have a lot of the information that you can put in order you to suit with your company, all right? Okay, all right, tuan-tuan puan-puan. The performance management model you provide a logical sequence of activity that individually to do the contribute to the cumulative Achievement on the organization objective of improvement performance. Yes. Provide a logical sequence. That is why depend of company that depend. It's not approach, but maybe a few step of sequence need to add or need to drop. All right. So of course, for example, between the banking line and production line. All right. So sometimes between the banking line, we need to stress on certain issue, certain word. But that issue may be not to stress on production company. Right? Okay. So that is why we need to look back. Okay. So previous that I'm happy to be one of the what we call is practitioner on the human resource lah. Previous that I'm also have experience with the ministry as a deputy director lah, 48 grade lah before that, right? And then previous that have experience with the private company. Okay, what we call it in the HR related. So that is why I have experience on the private and government practice on HR. I'm not saying that totally different. Sometimes on the practice lah, there's a difference. But nowadays, yeah, I'm more lecturing. So just have engagement to the few company as a board advisor, board of the advisor and board of directors. So that is why I'm not really put myself in the HR. So that is why this is sharing. It looks like for the in the Cari Kepak lah. Maybe you are well known on the practitioner HR. All right. Okay. Okay. Each activity has to be done properly to have the organization correctly implement to the entire process. The success is dependent on the performance level of the personnel in organization. Yes. All right. This is depend of personnel in organization. Right. So the different stage in the cycle can be discussed in brief as below. Okay, that is why, all right, sir, madam, all right. HR practice is there, but how we implement is depend of the company. Okay, so of course, okay, in the small and medium enterprise company, SME, all right, maybe you can follow how the big company practice on the HR related, but definitely you can implement on their what we call is, for example, in the department, in the big company, they have a separated department, you know, a training departments, safety, security, all right, and all these things. Some of the company, maybe small and medium enterprise company, they put training, they put what we call is safety and security under HR. So that is why the approach is same, basically. Sometimes, maybe my opinions, but we cannot really follow based of the condition of the big company, right? So that is why this is how that the HR practice. But what is important, you can have your best staff in order to give the best performance in the company. Okay. Performance and development planning. The performance and development plan is formulated through a joint activity held by the managers and employee at the planning of the performance management cycles. All right. The formulated plan helps lay down the foundation through which the improvement and development processes will be conducted throughout the year. The plan is a vital part of the sequence. It's given the organization reference point in the planning, as well as the organization in conducting performance review. Yes. The plan contains the agreement set in place by the appropriate parties on the objective of the performance and learning. It also contains action plan to help in the development of performance and ability. Yes. Okay, monitoring performance. This part also very important. All right. Rather than we work with a government or private company, all right, a good performance management system does take this form of a continuous process with cool, otherwise can be defined and managing performance through the years. All right. Monitoring performance very important to sustain, to review your currently performance. Because we talk about the performance normally, okay, be in mind, we think about the KPI. Okay, performance without KPI is looks like that, all right? Yeah, what we call this? You you drive car without tire, something like that, right? Okay, all right. Okay, so that is happen lah, all right. So of course, okay, performance is KPI is the direct, what we call is direct formula. Okay, both of that information lah. Therefore, monitoring is done on a continuous basis. This is the current status within the organization against the set objective and goals, which help is taking corrective action where necessary according to the monitoring process result. Okay, the personnel conduct their monitoring and manage the performance, and the manager to provide feedback and supportive. Yes. The manager also gives a recognitions where is due, where the activity take place, rated to provide a formal recognition at the end of the entire process. Okay, so this is talk about the process flow or the operational of the performance management. All right. The managers through the monitoring process are able to provide coaching to improve on the performance level and promoting the process of learning of the job. Okay. Basically, job that you do, okay, suddenly, simultaneously, like you have your learning process, basically. All right? Because of some time, you will receive a new things that, okay, you need to learn for a while. For example, you will receive the new system that, okay, you need to attend the course. Then after that, you start to practice or implement. So that is what work also is a learning process. But what we call this is how MQA, Basic Qualification Agency, looks that, okay, then change a few, and then make the amendment of a few approach doing for master and PhD. That's why comes the appel, appel, and so on lah. All right. Okay, information under performance process ongoing. We have to prevent poor outcome as a manager able to take of it in good time. All right. So considerations about the process, considerations about the works, okay, considerations about the productions, considerations about the time and all these things. All right. The continuous process of performance management is vital procedure in the process performance. Management which should be practiced regardless of whether or not the organization has established formal management system. Yes. Okay. System without practice, like car without petrol, right? So that is why we need to practice, right? Okay, so that is why if let's say you learn about the I'm not always they talk about QMS, all right, it's because that I'm know about QMS now, because I also teach QMS, right? So I just bring up you maybe some sort of the information that we can relate between the performance management. So that is why on the QMS also, focus of the what we call is a review also sometimes. That part of very important in order that we understand more about the problem, issue, and so on. So we need to practice that basically. Then we know about the problem, issue, and so on. Okay, all right. Reviewing performance. The review performance level within the organization is activity carried out over the years, and its time has been referenced to the performance appraisal. The review process normally done on an annual basis within some organizations carried out on the biannual basis. I think you know about performer appraisal, eh? Performer appraisal, what I can mention is what we can say is performance appraisal sensitive. Sensitive. Because regard with the performer appraisal, sometimes they will impact to your bonus. Bonus akhir tahun, eh? Nak bawa family, bring up your family to have your what whatever lah you want to go to new things, new place, sorry, new place and so on lah. Okay. Alright, so that is why before I proceed to the next information, that this is what bias, you know. Sometimes, yeah, because evaluate by humans that we need to accept basically. All right. Sometimes we're not happy what we have, what we receive on the performance appraisal, but this is how lah. This is how it happen. But we try our best lah, basically. All right. It is normal that the last have the process of performance management is a focal point for determining the methods of concerning performance and development. The review process can also help in the procedure from updating the performance agreement by completing the performance agreement cycle. Yes. Okay. On top of this, okay, so madam, the monitoring process can be used to identify potential. All right. Identify the need for coaching and help bring up the light to be area which are underperforming. And at the same time also on the increment of position, increment of salary, upgrade the position, get the better position in the same company, that sometimes it is impact on the performance appraisal. A formally established review process normally done on an annual basis to help the organization conduct analysis of the extent to which it has been also accomplished its objective over the past year and helping analyzing the extent to which the development plan has been implemented. All right. Okay, so normally organization does come out with rating when they use for review. For example, 5-point scale, which employ the A, B, C, D, E scale, the rate to be the program. Normally we use this A, B, C, D or whatever lah. Then we can use also sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1 is the lowest, 5 is the highest. Then we count that, we can get 85%, you know, 90%. Okay, more than 95, you will consider if let's say they have a new position. Okay, the highest position, more than your position. Is your appraiser that more than 85 that you will consider to come for interview, for example. All right. Okay, so the result of review has to be well recorded and perform and develop plan for the following year drum up. Drum up. Recent years, however, organizations have opted for the less formal review processing, which are employing more frequent performance and development analysis throughout the year. Right. Okay, for management and the psychological contract. Okay, so what we understand about the psychological contract contain practical expectation, which are normally unwritten with an organization between the employer and employees. Okay. Since the contract unwritten, it is able to involve overtime. Okay, overtime. Okay. Okay. Which organization setting a place that appropriate performance management process will be in a position to make sure that it's a set up performance expectation agreed upon a review is done on regular basis. Surely performance. The properly understand the process of managing performance, I will be helpful for understand the different theory pertaining to the performance management practice. The theory include the goals theory. Right. Okay, so we can go through the goals story. The theory can be considered as the most of influential theory due to the practice of laying down goal and evaluate the performance level against the goal we have been set in place. All right. The goal have a personal working in an organization achieve laying out of the travel performance by attaining the goal. The performance feedback carried out help the management in determining which goal have been achieved and what extent have they been achieved. Okay, the goal theory lay out four mechanisms which have connecting the goal of performance outcome. The mechanism are all right. Attention is placed on the prioritize. The goal happens in a stimulating effort from the workers. The setting up a goal have a challenging the personnel to improve their skill and how they perform tasks, thereby increase the organization change of success, right? With the goal being more challenging, it will need to be workers to draw from their large pool of skill. All right. So I see the goals, So the word goal ni actually sensitive by today. Because the last goal, the last goal, all right, make us, all right. Last goal, okay. Okay, all right. Okay, expectancy theory, right? Okay. State that a fork set by personnel is given by the levels of expectancy that they will receive reward and fact to that reward will be used to effort they put in. The performance management applied to some extent the expectancy theory as looks to influence the behavior on individuals to get the most out of them. The system look to motivate the personnel and give them a sense of direction within the organization by establishing a relationship between the achievement and reward. The theory is based of the idea that people will accept more effort activity from which there will be benefit from. Positive feedback from a task well done. Give it to workers. Okay, motivation will come from the fact that given the workers satisfaction in terms of their need for the accomplishment and give them opportunity to grow their skill. Yes. Right. The organization evaluation and outcome have been structured in a way that encourage the employee to work in line with the goal of the organization. All right. Next is a control theory. Right. Okay. So the theory developed is foundation of the idea that feedback have that change behavior. According to the theory, as the workers get back, they are able to accept their difference between what they are doing and they are supposed to be doing. Is which case they take the necessary corrective action need to overcome their discrepancy. All right. And then reinforcement theory, the theory suggests that success achieving goals, expectation, reward provide a positive setting to have a success behavior system where they are the similar activity being undertaken. The theory suggests a positive feedback and give a positive reinforcement. Okay, next is social learning theory. All right, theory combine both of expectancy and the reinforcement theory. The theory does consider the importance of the concept of reinforcement to have a determinations of a future's behavior on top of that. It does also take into account the importance of internal psychology factor on the value of goal and ability of individuals to attain them. All right, next is self-efficiency theory. The theory provides individual self-motivation with force their self-belief that accomplish different task goal and develop themselves. Performance management should be in the developing self-belief among the employee to have them develop a sense. It's a self-belief and provide channels through which that could together with the management develop a way through which that would do more, right? Okay, I'm of performance management. I'm of the performance management, right? So, what are the feeling? What is the purpose? What is the objective? What is the aim? All right. The main objective of performance management is to develop the performance level of individuals and ultimately the entire organizations. So simultaneously, right, the aim is must be a same between the staff and company, right? In order to make the company success, in order to make the department perform, in order to make the staff success, right? When implemented properly, it makes sure that the personnel have a clear understanding of what success is all about and their roles ensures success. Yes. This is also a part of very important that we need to make a clear for our staff. Okay. To be clear, right, sir, madam, we need to brief, derive on the what is the mission, vision, and aim to the company. And then come to the staff, okay, what the staff need to be success or achieved in order that to do the work, right? So that is why we need to have a clear to the staff. So please don't make the staff wrongly, right? In order you to make the department success. If let's say you are a head of department, you are responsible to make your staff clearly and understand about the company performance and what we need you to do, right? Apply a strategy approach in the process of performance management can help in ensuring that the organization objectives are aligned to the individual's objective. Yes, in line, same understanding, same significance. That because the company and the staff is not work in that else company, they will work in that company. So they need to have the line objective through organization and company. All right, okay, performance management is to increase the motivation level of commitment level so that the side objective. It also provide the employee with the level of performance expected of them and provide them with the sense of direction. Direction, job descriptions, performance of the department, the KPI of the department, KPI of company, KPI of the staff, any achievement that we need to set, any achievement that we need to hold, that all these things that we need to put on the sense of direction between the staff, company, and so on. Performance management also run to improve the people's capacity and reach their full potential. This will benefit both the employee person and organization as a whole. Yes. The system can be set up to help communicating the strategic goal of regulations to the employees, and illustrating to them what their roles toward attainment of the goals. So this can help develop a good relationship on the employee and their management, right? The performance management help the organization in realizing every individual's contribute to thereby coordinate training and development where necessary. This is beneficial to both of the organization as they're able to improve on productivity and the individuals, and they are able to progress with their career. Right? Okay. The reality of performance management, right? Excuse me. The model of performance management as presented in figure 3.1 does relate to the essence of the entire process of performance management clearly. Think how the entire process of management of performance should work. The process, however, does have its limitation and does not always go according to the plan. Basically, the process does have several problems discussed below. Yes. Right. So what is the problem? As the model show, there are constant flow interlinkage activity through the different stage of perform management. For any organization, there will be the most logical and ideal situation. However, this is a difficult process to put into practice and does not always work desired. Managers tend to compartmentalize their entire process and do not always work to ensure that the process done moves smoothly and is intended. All right? Okay. Next is the process not always straightforward. It should be, yes. All right, the designer of the process can be tend to add too much detail into the process or every stage, thereby changing to simple process into bureaucratic and complex process. When coming up with the process, the designer should try as much as they can to keep it as simple as that can. Complex process might, excuse me, might lead to reluctant by the personnel to be implement it. The entire process has to be properly explained through the training program. All right. Next. The idea that smooth transition from the organization to individual goals is an assumption rather than the reality should queue a difficult process accomplished. The strategy developed by organizations are not easily translated into individual goals since the goal may not be officially defined and many times the strategic goals are dropped by the top management with the no consultation from the employee. The content in which the model operates has great effect in whether or not the model is successful. The process involved, the performance management have been evolved over the year. Okay. Excuse me, the fit into organization which they apply. More organization does not employ the more conventional performance system are given by the model of employee to the approach for the different part of organization. The performance management system are evolving to fit into the organization which they are employed so as to fit into the organization structure, culture, and workflow. Right. Okay. As a result of this problem, many organizations do develop performance management system which does conform to the model by parallel function, where otherwise the employee performance appraisal system where the management does fill out from a standardized question. Below are some illustrations that performance management model established by a different organization. Okay. So we can look that next is by AstraZeneca, business rules clarification. Clear statement, agree upon the rules, objective within organization, performance planning, agree upon the target, performance development, the skill needed are agreed upon, and the develop plan into the drawn up. Performance measurement, feedback, performance provide, and annual performance summary is created. Okay, performance planning, target, performance development, develop plan, performance measurement, annual performance summary is created. Okay, so stage 1, business rules. Stage 2, performance planning. Stage 3, performance development. Stage 4, performance improvement. Plan, do, evaluate. Okay. All right. Business rule, performance planning, performance development, and performance improvement. Asalkan performance management system. All right. So objective setting. Performance coaching through the years, regular open dialogue, interest, learning, development, engagement, all right, so on. Objective setting, financial business objectives to come, core management, value objective for all, interim value, performance step back, tracker data dated July, and then 1 to 5 financial business rating score. AD value, rate score, effective differentiations, right? Differentiation, additional feedback, and cast a loud down of the review. All right, and then argument for the performance management system. This is part of the argument, performance management system. The management system has improved for the individual, team, and overall business performance. It is have a creating performance culture within the organization. The performance management system will have integrated the individual and organization goal. The helping engagement employee by improve motivation. The performance management system have a clearly outlined role of the individuals team to have a timing or organization goal. Through a well-designed system, the organization could be better placed to realize every individual fault and contributions. Okay, if we have a planning outreach, individual career path, and have a development training, develop program to help with hiring the organization's needs. All right, so this is a summary. Okay, so I think next we go to chapter 4. All right. Okay, chapter 4, performance management, reviewing performance. All right. Okay. All right. So, excuse me. The unit illustrates the process of reviewing performance within the organization. All right. So, the unit describe what performance review and the purpose of conducting the review, the method, and illustrates the process of carry out an ideal performance review. All right, a review normally it's not only on one you do in your performance management, in your KPI, in the human resource purpose, but in your thesis also. If you say, I think if I'm not mistaken, that you have your final project. Okay, am I right? You have your final project that you need to do your it's like a short thesis, I think, right? So maybe sometime maybe you already finished for chapter 1, 2, 3. All right. Maybe you want to ask your SB to review. So you will send to your supervisor to review. Okay. Your what we call is your written. Your written maybe your chapter 1 to chapter 5. So the word of review normally very important. It's not only on the performance management, but we use a lot of angles. For example, in the QMS, quality management system, in our final project, thesis, and so on. So why? Basically, all right, the review is very important that we can see, we can look. Okay. Why we review? Because of course, sometimes what we plan, basically we plan, okay? On top of KPI, on top of target and so on. But on the progress of implement operationals, that sometimes because of what we do basically we can achieve 100% lah. This is a normal theory and methodology lah. But what we can say lah. So of course sometimes we late to see, sometimes we forget to make us maybe can you can see the issue or the problem on that what you your process, okay, on the work basically. Okay, for example, we go to the productions. All right, if let's say we not review that, maybe we don't know, okay, what is the product, is the product is what you have is the what we call it, meet the standard, okay, or you just get your feedback after someone will complain your product basically. Okay, so this is sometimes happen. That is why, of course, that is one thing basically we can have on improvement of product or review the product. For example, I bring up you, for example, a product. If let's say someone will complain with your product, but during that time, okay, I think the part of the best action also, we no need to waiting someone we complain, give the feedback your product. we also need to review. If let's say we talk about the product, if let's say we talk about the staff, okay? Okay, so the unit also discuss the performance analysis, different method and conducting the analysis. So review sometimes can include the analysis that, okay, because of sometimes reviewing, okay, involved with the data that we need to analyze, you know, sometimes, okay, from the observation that we can identification, we can identify, excuse me, we can identify what is the issue problem, okay? Other than we can have the genuine data and then we can analyze, okay? So that's why data also is very important, right? Okay, performance review is have analysis and how will each individual has carried out on their task. All right, manager conduct the review assess the extent to which objectives have been achieved from the result of the review process. Okay, we talk about the review sometimes. They can be short, they can be big perspective basically. But how you want to review is only that the word is only that for job description, is only that for department or overall company, or you want to review on the issue or problem, come to the department or review on the production or review of the product, service, all these things. Okay, this is dependent. And then from that particular, all right, sometimes the review need to have a data, sometimes they need to have on the method of observation and so on. All right, a state before performance review also refers to performance appraisal are generally done at the annual basis. I think you know already lah, performance appraisal, that what just we discussed, okay, about the performance appraisal. A performance review process can be developed a top-down, okay, review process where the management tell the subordinate what they think of it. However, the better result, the performer will have to involve the management and their subordinate to discuss matter performance. Normally, we do the appraisal. We have session between head of department, okay, appraiser and appraisee. All right. The task to be handled by individual, we discuss an objective organization processes, performance review arms to help a development. All right. As a head of department, we need to clearly know about the objective to the company. Because as a head of department, okay, if let's say we are the someone to evaluate the performance appraiser, we need to know the intentions of the company that must be matched and fix the KPI in the performance appraisal done by the staff. And then also we need to advise of the staff. Okay, of course, as a head of department, we happy that if let's say the staff put the big target, sorry, not big achievement, sorry, big target. Okay, or the what we call a beautiful target. But as a head of department, what is the importance of performance appraisal as the staff can achieve as much that followed the period of time. So that is why as of a head of department, come to the KPI in the performance appraisal, okay, on the performance management, we need to understand clearly. So as head of department, you are the connections between the company and also staff. Okay, purpose that there are different purpose of conducting performance review, most of which that process phase to achieve, they include assessment. The review process help to evaluate how the personnel have performed their job. Setting objectives, through the review process, different needs are realized within the organization, and through this, the organization will be able to revise existing objective and also set a new objective. Develop planning from the result. The organization can be in a position to agree a performance development plan. Motivation. The organization management will give their subordinate proper feedback and recognition from tasks well done. Yes. Motivation. So this is the what we call is character list. that on the performance appraisal. Communication that perform appraiser process is mean that to develop two-way channels for communication and relay information of rules, work problem, and aspiration. Reward. The information a performer would have in the informing reward decision. Talents management, the process also look into identify talent within the organization. Poor performance. The performance review process also aims to identify underperformance among the workers so that to conduct the necessary corrective action. All right, so this is part that the list of the we need to consider that we need to use on the performance appraisal. But this is depend of how you conduct the performance appraisal, how that you coordinate a performance appraisal, and so on. Okay, method. Formal appraisal program to give an overview. Analyze the performance over a given time, usually the time between the review and the result. Collected and compare against the set objective and agree upon the performance level. Right. Okay. The review process look to identify the organization current station result and as well documented for future reference. So this is analyze and then overview. Okay. And then of course, is that agree? Okay. Compare that head of department and all the staff. So perform and conduct the performance appraisal that basically we can to make this document and documented this document as the easy way. Okay. To me, that is not the way basically. Because this is what you need to keep, you need to hold, you need to this as a guide you in order you to achieve on the current year performance consider without fail. That is why, okay, initially prepare the performance appraisal review is part of very important that we cannot neglect a few information until that we strongly agree on this set by the head of department. Agree with you as a appraisee. All right. Connecting idea review process. An idea from a review meeting has begun for different rules defined below. For example, proper preparation. The managers have to properly prepare for the process, have a good understanding the goals and performance agreed upon for the year. They should give the proper analysis of the success and the failures and give praise when you do act accordingly by setting corrective measures where there are problem consideration should be able to place on change they have happen of those expected over the next period. So this scenario that come to more on what we call is do by the appraiser. It's not appraisee. It's not staff, but head of department. That we need to clearly within the connecting between the company and department, which is staff. Staff only that need to understand what is the capacity, capability, commitment, skill, experience in order to put the KPI and understand what they put in the KPI clearly without fail. Right? Work to a clear structure. The meeting has to cover all those layout during the preparation of time allocated to allow for the discussion required so to get the most out of it. And then we need to clearly discussion. Basically, sir, madam, we don't want to have any issue pertaining with the performance appraisal done between the staff and agree with the head of department. Because this is the former documented that can be impact to all increment salary, bonus, and increment position, including also transfer and so on, right? Also compensation and benefit. Provide good feedbacks on the employee environment is to how they're getting on and Feedback from the management who will have attended. The feedback will have to be factual and should be given a proper manner so to provide motivation to person this time. And yeah, all right. So I think maybe almost all you are managers, head of departments, system managers, GPT managers, senior executive, and so on, which is that, okay, you must see into the real condition, scenario, and reality. That, okay, if let's say maybe you are someone know more about what that your staff say, okay, rather than the staff maybe they do not enough experience in order that they put their target. So as a boss, you are maybe need to advise on this particular information in order to put on the performance appraisal. Right. Okay. And then the beginning of meeting, the man should be in the delivers for the sum judgment. Issue a price, we have a clear, related, relaxed environment. Yes. This one, for example lah. Let a person get the most out of the meeting. The employee should be given an opportunity to freely express their view and let them feel they are receiving a fair hearing and may also encourage improvement. Right? Open-ended question should be applied. Right. Don't forget that. Okay. Allow for self-assessment that have provide view from perspective to be individual and also allow for further discussion. Yes. About the self-assessment, self-review, all right, evaluate, all right, and then allow and for the future discussion before we endorse whatever performance appraisal. Okay, discuss actual performance and not personality. Discuss should be a guide by the actual performance and not be opinion. The employee have be given chance to explain why something happened, why something did not. Yes, that's right. Okay, so this session is basically when we have a meeting to discuss about the performance appraisal. Staff must be clearly what is the intentions of company in order that to have the new achievement on the new year. Head of department also need to know clearly, definitely, is what company plan for the next year. For example, okay, from my analysis perform, the perform meeting should be not just be issue of praise and blame. It should be a bit objective discussion on the performance levels, and we have to dance of what problem if maintain high standard. Of course, if let's say you want to very fact on the performance appraisal, okay. Yes, we can do, but sometimes it comes to the fact it depend of the position that you be a supervisor basically. But at least you can have some condition and scenario that in order to staff make the intention to be achieved on the KPI. Okay, unexpected criticism should be not given. Yes, discuss held during the meeting have that be based on the what took place during the year. The event, their feedback has to be issued and what is happened. The meeting should look to lay out measurable objectives and plan action. The rules provided as above may be sound easy to implement, but they will only apply for an organization with structure, support to strong approach. Okay, performance analysis. Okay. Okay, performance analysis can be defined as a process. Evaluate how well a task has been done, the factor which influenced the result. The result of performance analysis can be used to identify the need of planning and development. Laying out talent management pools and issuers of reward which necessary. Suggestion has been placed on putting more effort to the further rating the reeling of the path to help laying out for realistic target and strategy and how they attain them. The analysis should be not only focused on identify weaknesses, but should be also look into identify strengths and weaknesses. Purposely, the analysis should follow the agreed standard and evidence collected rather than opinion and from 2009. Okay, conducting performance appraisal. I think definitely almost all of you have experience. Performance analysis should be not be limited to formal annual session. However, throughout the year, it should be a practice on the relatively informal procedure where the manager have a hold a discussion with the employee. They could be done by manager holding tasks on the organization current status and what is required. Okay. Illustrations provided by Dilly Robinson by two manager how they approach the practice of performance analysis stated that the manager does treat their subordinated and the manner they would like to be treated. If the manager wants to achieve something, they will inform the subordinate what exactly the require of them from the beginning, right? Okay. The manager also hold and want coaching and regular feedback to point out gap into the process, initiate to necessary corrective action. All right. Okay. Rosie Hanze, macam mana Prof? Susah juga nak evaluate performer tapi tak perlu ambil kira karakter. Karakter itu safta kadang-kadang outcome dan performance. Yes, agree with you. Come to the scenario. Basically, that's why I mentioned that we can achieve 100% in order that we make the performance appraisal to the staff, basically. Because sometimes they make to wait to the character and attitude, what that mentioned by Rosie Hansen. Sometimes they wait to the KPI, the real KPI, that the target on that the performance. So of course, yeah, if you ask me, that is not easy that, okay, to make station to the manage to the coordinate performance appraisal because these years maybe I'm not saying that the character will change, but sometimes the approach is different, emotionals, right? Workload, technology, all these things that can be impact because we do the KPI normally for the continuous years, which is we don't know what is going on of that continuous years basically. So we consider new year lah, for example, 2024. But this is how challenging you are be a head of department. Purposely, I know master postgraduate, candidate or student that mostly you are hold in the senior management position, which is that is how you have your, it's not problem, that is how you face their issue or problem basically. Okay, alright. So purposely tidak perlu ambil kira or we don't count the character. It's not that we not count the character. Okay, but my opinion on that, not from this subject reviewing unit 4, reviewing performance. Basically, if let's say we count 100% on the character and attitude, maybe they will impact to the KPI purposely. So that is why, if let's say the information from the not say that not count, I'm not say that I'm agree, that I'm not say also I'm not agree, but we need to count on the another perspective. So this scenario basically come that how you are the management that you handle on that issue basically. All right. Hopefully lah. Okay, because performance appraisal ni is the one of the sensitive things, sensitive documents, because this is one of the document will impact your performance, increment of salary, bonus, and so on. Okay, because when we talk about money, okay, I'm not saying that all of you, me also very sensitive. All right. Okay, thank you. Alright, 7.5 dah Okay, sikit lagi Alright, sikit lagi. Alright. So rating, the process of rating for the review assessing the employee performance level at press on the scale the practice has been carried out by any organization over the year with survey done by indicating 79% of respondents the index use rating in their performance review. Okay. Yes, totally we use the rating, but okay, this is how, because of we are a human, we have a feeling and we have a feeling lah, feeling, okay? All right. Okay, so that is why performance appraiser that can make you beautiful sometime, okay? your can make you beautiful sometimes, but can make you angry sometimes. Okay, but because what? Sometimes, yeah, we know that if let's say I evaluate you, okay, I don't know basically who you are. Of course lah, where you're from, okay, what do you do, right? How your works. So that's why I'm not saying that performance appraisal ni is unfair, because this is how we use lah. I cannot mention like that, right? But I can say that that is not show you 100% from appraisal. Meaning to say that if let's say I want to evaluate you, I can realize, I can believe that your performance appraisal is you. I mean, it's your character, it's your performance, it's your commitment. But basically, this is what we do lah. So, of course lah, in words, of course sometimes we not totally agree what we have, what we receive lah. But this is how we need to think, all right? It's a theory state that possible measure individual performance accurately and consistently scale and their performance category. The rater have the possesses the ability to rate employee performance and motivation accurately and rate them accordingly. A decision provided between two concepts we might be confused with each other. They are the judgment and rating. Judgment involves evaluation, usually private and individual in certain area. Rating of them and high public statement is just usual intended for the record. Below are the theory of rating process. Okay, the raters, various level of their rating. Rating of process carry out more frequent, much more accurate that to perform really. Rater are able to provide a much more accurate rating where they have a period information. What they are rating as they will be in a better position, they focus more on certain aspect. We'll keep record of different period of certain observation have in improvement the accuracy recall, writing skills. All right. Writing skill have a summarizing the performance level teaching by each individuals. The process is done by setting certain point given skill by the accessor on the video performance levels. The skill used for writing process is used to categorize the performance level within the organization. The skill could be defined in numerical model properly on alphabeticals manner, for example, from excellent, good, satisfactory, or unsatisfactory. The scale can be described verbally inserted below. Expectation performance, they give performance level which does pass set performance level does increase the impact of role. While balanced performance, the performance levels efficiently meet the set performance required of the role. Balanced performance level does meet all the objectives, which case significant performance improvement in this. Acceptable performance, the performance standard are not met at all, and type may be a result of the ability to let a commitment to the task. Okay, so this is the what we call skill that we can use to understand more, right? Okay, another widely used approach, the rating process is used to scale time to provide motivation and encourage development. The scale is applied straight-based performance review systems should have a performance, but for the promotion continuous improvement. Example approach given below. Very effective, developing and improvers. Okay, very effective. Their performance level exceeds expectation. Effective, the objective of the role have been effectively attained. Developing more strategies have been achieved, but they still remain from room for improvement. Improver, the performance level are below expectation. They are allowed to be improved. Okay, the approach looks to avoid some term like unacceptable such level of performance should have been identified where earlier during the continuous performance management and require corrective action still at the right time. This performance level should not be left unchecked. Over the year, such time the annual review done due to the fact ensuring just rating will be highly demoralizing and more may have already significant effect for entire process. All right, so sometimes for scale numbering, I think should be no problem. Scales, explanation that we need to look back lah. If let's say you want to use that, because then can be the demotivate for the stuff lah. For the rating, if let's say not satisfaction and so on lah, it's used like that. The stuff is is not understand, don't know how to do the work lah, basically. All right. Okay, achieving and acquiring rating, an important issue, the rating, how that we do rating, provide objective illustration of the formal level, the improved accuracy rating will be important to ensure. Ensures what? The proper definition gives entire good poor performance. Yes. The system could be trusted, the principle differentiating among the workers and their performance level is accepted. The low rating does not always lead to loss of the value reward. Yes. All right. Acceptance of entire process maximize where the process is viewed as accurate, fair administration. The system in line with racial structure and entire assessment process does not go beyond the psychological contract. Okay, though the sure the assessment acceptable, the review has to avoid making conclusion based on a few instances. Performance level on the employee has to be documented. The employee has to be issued with the invitation to participate in the entire process. Encourage the appraiser, more emphasis should be placed on the entire process, ensures that the employee does do receive informal feedback on a regular basis. False distributions means that the rater has word line out distribution rating distance level. The type of distribution normally suggest like this. False of distribution employee. All right. Okay. Excuse me. The false distribution could take the sharp curve isolated by those applied for IQ score. A limitation of false distribution, however, there is a non-evident pointed to faith that performance level with organization is normally distributed. The employee has allocated the section of curve with higher performance first 50%. And the mid-level performance is 70%, group with less that performance is 50% and more strong. Okay, tu benar lah. Okay, I think this is the last. Argument for rating. If they are certified, they wish for people to know what stand. This is, however, only effective the review process, honest and justified. People don't give motivation due to the fact they know that what they have to achieve so that they get a better rating. Where the performer pay, the process necessarily determined would deserve to reward. Yeah, the process could be good and define potential development. Okay, argument against rating. Due the subjective nature of rating, that will be a difficult compare rating from different manager. Yes. This is happen lah, sorry. Right. Term such average or below average could be the demanding and demotivating. Of course, rating process could be overshadow the entire process of the performance review process, which the performance development. The critical incident technique that critical incident developed by Flanagan has helped that developing behavior rating scale. The approach suggests that performer review should be placed focus of critical behavior incident, which should be how where the individual performer data rating the management based on objective and merit rating. The record of this incident has to be documented using the review meeting, thereby increasing objective. Okay. All right, BERS, behavior and rating skills, make up a specific behavior description. We define point against skills, define a dimension of word function which consider important of performance. The statement may be include definition words quality performance to describe the best quality defined for between the best and worst. Okay. This one for example lah, overall. Okay, this is skills that maybe 3-point scale for behavior competency. Fail to develop a positive relationship with the managers as a supply and internet service. For example, fail to build out and maintain good relationship with the internal customer. Often difficult to deal with unresponsive to others' contribution. Feeling and concern, make time for people's offer relevant advice, generally respond within a responsible time scale that request for assistance. Maintain effective working relationship or labor relation. Take the initiative development database system which anticipated the need. Internal customer respond and immediately request to help the advice. Narrative assessment. All right. Summary to view performer level achievement. The narrative assessment could be of better information on the performer level of individual. Analytical performer narrative. All right. Analytical performer narrative is best where they are done with a framework. This could be best achieved by taking the what we how approach. They will define the previously agree on goals and how we associate the behavior discussed in the competency framework. Okay, all right. So I think 7:40 to 45 already. Close to 8. I think maybe some of you wants to have your prayer, Maghrib. Okay, I think we stop for that for a while. We're ready for assessment by tonight. Then you can do your best. Okay, anything that you can straightforward ask me, whatever, no problem. Okay, so your assignment is not the thesis that I'm not what we call this very strict lah. Not very strict that I'm not strict to marking, but I'm not very strict to what we call this to understand marking your assessment like more to academic, because you are adults, you know, maybe your written more on your experience. Okay, more your experience, which is that I need to bear. You are experienced person to return the assignment. I'm not pleased myself to review your assignment on the too academic.